Hey, what's up guys? It's ex-mormon with My Spiritual Life, and today we're talking about feelings. I know, disgusting, right? Really though, this video is all about how to heal from your past trauma, whether it's religious or family, and my best advice as like a step one in trying to move forward is learning how to feel your feelings. Don't forget, I have a new Facebook group that I'd love for you to join where I'm trying to make this channel a lot more interactive so that we can heal and move forward together. So the link is below if you want to join that Facebook group. In a lot of my videos now, I'm going to be trying to interact with you more, give you journal prompts and things to think about and questions to answer so that we can all be healing together. Okay, so when you're trying to rebuild your spiritual, mental, emotional foundation after something traumatic has happened, you have a lot of emotions you have to process. And I'm going to tell you what, a lot of us, not so good at doing that. I'm going to read you a quick quote that I found that I really like that I think encompasses the message of this video today. Nothing destroys self-worth, self-acceptance, and self-love faster than denying what you feel. Without feelings, you wouldn't know where you are in life, nor would you know what areas you need to work on. Honor your feelings, allow yourself to feel them. One thing I think I've learned over these past couple years as I've tried to heal from the trauma of leaving the religion that I grew up in, as well as other things I've, just wanting to move past childhood trauma and things as well, is that there's so much relief and peace that comes when I'm willing to actually acknowledge and feel my feelings, instead of stuffing them down into that deep black hole where you hope that you just forget about them and then they just explode out on you later. If I've learned anything in my journey in these past couple years, it's been that feeling your feelings is so important and so helpful, and especially when you're trying to move past some really big traumatic changes in your life. Feeling my feelings gave me the ability to process them and then let them go so that I could move forward and feel less upset, angry, less easily triggered, and I really want that for all of you as well. So let's talk about why this is so hard, because guess what? No one likes feeling their difficult feelings. Everyone likes feeling happy, but for some reason that we cannot understand, no one seems to like to feel angry, sad, disappointed, any of those things. So, reason number one why this is so hard. We were never taught growing up any healthy coping techniques, and because we don't have any healthy coping techniques, we don't really know how to go about feeling our feelings and trying to heal and move forward. I honestly think one of the biggest problems in society in general is that there are not enough healthy coping techniques that people are implementing. Can you imagine how much better the world would be if people were actually trying to work on their own instead of just throwing it around at everyone else? Reason number two, feeling your feelings is really hard, is because we associate feeling our feelings with pain. And that's because lots of feelings are painful. Who knew? Reason number three is we are heavily distracted. We have kids and spouses and work and fun things, hopefully. I don't know how much fun things I have between all of those other things. TV, social media, video games, we are heavily distracted, and it's so much easier to plug into these distractions than it is to actually feel or acknowledge what's really going on inside of us. And of course, I would much rather play Toon Blast on my phone than I would feel sad thinking about the people in my life that don't like me. Reason number four, feeling your feelings is difficult, is because I think for most of us, this was never properly demonstrated. We didn't see our parents or our other parental figures like coping with their emotions in a healthy way. So we just didn't take on that identity. Reason number five is that we have negative associations or beliefs around feeling certain feelings. Maybe growing up, your parents told you, don't be a crybaby, or don't be oversensitive, or you shouldn't be upset about that thing. And that is extremely suppressive to our very real, very valid feelings that we can't really control. And so the minute we start trying to suppress instead of feel, then things snowball. After leaving Mormonism, I was extremely depressed. Like really, really having a hard time. I remember waking up in the morning and just feeling like, what's the point? I didn't feel like I had any purpose. I wasn't sure that life had any meaning anymore. And even when I tried to rationalize myself through some meaning, I still just felt so empty inside. And I got to a breaking point where I was like, something needs to change. Like, I am miserable right now, even though, like, my life is pretty good. And I started to look within and ask myself, like, what the heck is going on? Like, started to ask myself, like, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What's really going on here? And as I started to kind of look within and journal and try to unpack some of these emotions, what I noticed was the thought that kept coming to me was, I don't deserve to be happy because I left God's one true church. And like when I realized that thought came to the surface, like I felt like my brain exploded because I was like, oh my gosh, holy cow, that totally makes sense that I would feel that way. And then I was sad because I felt like I was kind of trapped in this idea that wasn't true, but felt true like in my heart, you know. But it was a huge defining moment for me, being able to recognize what was at the core of my lack of ability to see joy in life. And so I started to work through that feeling, and I got help, I got counseling, I started working out and eating better, like just trying to do everything I could to try to improve the situation. And what I noticed was that I was able to slowly start to overturn that thought, that feeling that I was having, that I didn't deserve to feel happy. And as I did, I just started feeling better and better and better. And it was like slowly my happy days became more frequent than my sad days until it was like I was just doing really good on most days. And it was a huge, huge transformation for me. And I really attribute this to having the courage to going within and saying, what's really going on? And what can I do to help resolve this issue with myself? I felt like I set myself free once I was willing to feel those scary feelings and shed some light on them so that they weren't holding me back anymore. And especially like subconsciously, because I didn't realize right off the bat that I was feeling so depressed because of my church-related beliefs. Frankly, I have enough going on in my life. I don't also need to be carrying around, 26 plus years of bad conditioning on a daily basis. That is exhausting. So if you're looking for ways to learn how to start feeling your feelings better, right? I have a couple ideas for you, some coping technique ideas. Simple, easy to implement ones. So one is journaling. That's probably one of my favorite. 2, meditating. I was talking to a friend of mine who says she meditates and she just sits there and she just feels her feelings. And it's different than the way I've ever heard meditation described or I've really ever practiced it, but I loved that so much because she just takes this time to just sit there quietly with no interruptions and just feel what she needs to feel so that she can process it and let it go. And I just thought that was super beautiful. 3, talking with a trusted friend, hopefully a friend that doesn't get you super riled up about what you're expressing, but can help, just maintain a healthy, supportive, healing space for you. 4, go to counseling or get otherwise support. That's super important. It's helped me a ton. 5, you can post on online communities, like mine, for example. That's funny, I wrote that down. I don't even think I was thinking about mine, but Facebook link in the description below. 6, set aside time to relax. A lot of times we're taught to kind of, especially women in high demand religions, like you gotta do everything for everyone. You gotta be this all-encompassing person for all those people around you, and it's exhausting. And having some time actually to yourself is extremely important in your ability to heal and rejuvenate. My final tip for you today is to have compassion for yourself. When you are trying to feel and express your feelings, the easiest way to really let them go for good is to be compassionate with where you're coming from with your emotions. So for example, when I was super depressed after leaving the church, looking at that time, I could say to myself, when I realized that thought of like, I don't deserve to be happy because I'm not in God's one true church anymore, I could have looked at that thought and been really self-deprecating and said to myself like, oh, shut up, that's so stupid. Why would you think that? That's not true. The church isn't true. Like, get over yourself. I could have had that attitude, but I didn't. I didn't have that attitude because I don't think it's as helpful as what I did do. Not that I'm perfect and I do this right every time, but what I did do was I said to myself, you know what? It makes sense that you feel that way because you've been fed that for 20 plus years that perhaps happiness doesn't exist outside of Mormonism. And so coming from this place of compassion felt like it just really more effectively deflated the emotional intensity of the situation. Because there's nothing that makes processing our feelings harder than fighting against the feelings that we're feeling. If we're trying to fight against these emotions that really just want to get out of us, then we're fighting against them is just going to make this process take 8 times as long, and it's 8 times as exhausting. So many of us grew up with so much shame around feeling our feelings. So this can be really, really hard to implement at first, but just try it. Just try it. Next time you're trying to evaluate yourself and just ask how you're doing, then you could say to yourself, you know what? It makes sense that I feel this way, fill in the blank, because blank. And if you can muster that compassion for yourself, I think you'll see that you can release some of the intensity around these emotions that you're feeling so much more easily. So again, saying to yourself, it's okay, or it makes sense that you feel this way because blank. It can do you a lot of good. It helps me a lot. I use that like every day. And it really helps me just process daily stress so much better. Okay, so overview from this video today. When trying to heal from something traumatic, especially like leaving a religion or, stuff from your childhood, you need to do the 2 things. 1, feel your feelings. Look up healthy coping techniques if you don't like the ones I presented. Find something that works for you. You need a way to process your emotions in a healthy way, or else you're going to stay stuck in them. 2, have compassion for yourself as you are acknowledging, unpacking, and expressing your feelings. Try to say to yourself, it makes sense that you feel this way because blank. It might be hard at first, but it'll get easier the more you practice. Now I want to invite all of you to join my Facebook group and answer the following prompts, or feel free to answer them in the comments below. I love the Facebook group though, because then it's so much easier to interact with you guys, to actually hear your stories, see your faces and names and things like that. So if you want to do this exercise with me and with each other, click the link to the Facebook group. Here's the questions I have for you guys today. How are you feeling today? Like really get real with yourself. How are you feeling today? Question number 2, how are you feeling about your life, about your relationships, about your career? 3, how are you feeling about your past? Do you have regrets? Do you have frustrations? Where are you at? 4, how are you feeling about your future? Do you have things you're looking forward to? Do you not have things you're looking forward to? Do you have things you're super not looking forward to? 5, how do you want to feel about your life, your relationships, your career? How do you want to feel today? I'm going to have a post in the Facebook group where you guys can all comment so that you can all read each other's that's going to have these questions listed. So please go check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm really excited about making this channel a lot more interactive this year, and I hope you guys are too. So please comment down below also what your thoughts are about the new direction this is taking. So have a great day. See you guys in the next video. Peace.